Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The First Draft. I'm your host, Nina, and we're back for the spring semester. It's the first episode, and I'm here joined by a very special guest.
Hi, guys. I'm Kayla Holmes. I'm a campus editor for the Collegian.
Hi, I'm Ola Mokhtar, and I am another editor for the Collegian.
And then this is Hope Smith, editor for the Collegian. Super excited to be here.
And I'm Nina Banks, and I'll be hosting the podcast this semester. Yay!
Yay!
Gotta get back the sound effects. But, how was everyone's break?
It was so good. It was so long, though. And, my car busted for, 3 weeks out of it, but it was still good. Just
Donna?
being home. Yeah, Donna.
Donna.
How dare you, Donna?
Side name, Big Booty. I don't know.
The iconic.
She goes by 2 names.
Yeah. My break was, it was good. It was long. I was tired, so I stayed in bed for 2 weeks and read romance books.
Mm-hmm.
Best time of my life.
Oh,
It was so entertaining. I was reading the Twisted series by Anna Wong. It's pretty popular on TikTok, so that's what I spent my break doing.
I spent every day with my best friend, Olivia, because she came back from UT.
Oh, my God.
And so I was just with her, and I had a great time.
Good. Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Nina, how was your break?
Long, you said. It was definitely a big adjustment since high school. You get 2 weeks. My brother asked me how long break was, and I was like, a month. And he was like, no, be for real. And I was like, no, it's a month. It's a month. Yeah, so. Yeah. But glad to be back. Mm-hmm. The first paper is coming out soon, and so we're all working really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all working hard.
Real hard.
We're ready for this. We're ready.
Yeah, but with the new year, obviously it comes with a lot of resolutions. I have not made any, but I'm trying to stick to some. I want to get in the gym, but I think it's just to buy cute workout sets from Amazon. So
It's so valid, by the way, because some of these workout sets is oh,
they're so cute.
I'm talking what do you call that? The those trainer long sleeve shirts with a sweats combo. Oh my God,
It's too good.
It's all for the fits, honestly.
Truly.
Yeah, there are ones where you dance, so it's not boring. You can do those.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame you because Amazon is the place to go.
Thank
Amazon.
you so much, Jeff Bezos.
Thank
Just
you.
kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, they're super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not a big resolutions person either, but
Right.
the
I
year-
honestly, yeah. I don't know. I didn't want to set my standards too high for this year and be like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna run for president. Honestly, I kind of wanted to just get to a point where I was comfortable in this year and I was able to make small accomplishments. So I'll give y'all one example. I wanted to run every day because I used to do cross country, not to flex or
cross
anything.
country and track, y'all.
Cross country and track, y'all. I wasn't good. Don't. It wasn't
pulls you up online.
nobody looked me up on the athletic. Not that,
I know what you're saying.
Please, no. It was just, but I missed the feeling of running, and so when I went into that resolution for me, I wanted to go back to the way that I felt because it feels so good to go on a run and complete that run, so it wasn't. I decided not to focus it on fitness, which is kind of what a lot of my resolutions used to be, and just going into it, and feeling good about what I'm doing.
Yeah, mine were, let's see, I had big ones. I'm scratching all of them because I'm these aren't realistic. Stop. Mine was to walk every day rather than run because I have asthma and my lungs don't like
Hot
me.
girl walks.
Yeah, I'm walking. So I'm trying to walk every day and then trying to do better in school, which sounds counterintuitive because I'm taking a break from school, but I don't know. It's been a resolution of mine for a long time, and I think it's time I put my energy into it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, let me see.
Let me pull out the list.
Yeah, so I'm not a big resolutions person just because I feel like if I I don't know, I like planners, but I'm not gonna lie, half the things I write in a planner I don't do.
So true.
I just
So
like
real.
the calming sense I get from feeling like I'm on top of things. So for resolutions, it's like I like setting them, but I normally don't do them. But this year, like, I want to get back into reading again because I feel like at some point everyone, like when they were younger, maybe like read and then kind of stopped. Maybe not, but for me, like elementary school and middle school, like I read all the time. And I've always liked like English and reading classes, but I definitely kind of fell out of love with reading when I got into high school, and like I was feeling really overwhelmed and I was reading just for like assignments. So I really want to get back into a place in which I'm reading things that I really just enjoy in my free time, especially like as an aspiring writer. I feel like that's really important. So
Snaps.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm also like that. Like I don't care about resolutions, but I've never like put too much weight into it because I don't know. We kind of just became adults, and now I feel like is the time to actually make resolutions. And I don't know why. I just never thought about going to the gym because it always seems so scary to me. But now everyone's like going to the gym, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should. Maybe I should bust out these workout sets and stuff. But I think a lot of them are like mental, you know, like be nice to yourself, you know, all the stuff written and like on those corny T-shirts. Yeah, but
Yeah, I think it's also really easy though for us to like, y'all. I don't want to. This is gonna sound corny, to fall into the corporate trap. Honestly, you really can get caught in it, especially with like all the advertising that goes on towards the beginning of the year, where they're like, buy our like $1,000 dumbbells and do your workouts at home, but you can do it in rose gold, you know, like,
and I'll eat it up every time.
Exactly, and then you end up dumping this money into it. And you end up setting all of these expectations because, like, you'll see the influencers in these advertisements, and they're like, Captain America,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And it really bogs people down. And so I get it when the fact that people are kind of easing up on resolutions this year, which is nice to see, because I want fellow mankind to enjoy their living in the beginning of their year and set expectations for themselves, you know, that are gonna help them, but it's also realistic and doesn't fall into this like money trap, you know?
yeah, that's like what my story was kind of about. This issue was just like realistic resolutions, which at first I kind of felt like I wasn't sure about the title just because I don't want that to come across as negative or like limiting in some way, because I think the whole point of a resolution is that like anything that you're willing to put in like energy and ambition towards, you can make happen. Right. But I do think it's really important to talk about the fact that like you're not supposed to go about it in a way that ends up harming you more than benefiting you. And I think that sometimes when we put all this pressure on ourselves to make like a goal happen, it can be very harmful and really affect your mental health and your physical well-being, when the intention may have been to improve both of those things. So like it can be really counterintuitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 7. I'm the youngest of like 6 children, so my parents put a lot of expectations on me. And so I started writing out these resolutions, and I noticed that they're all basically just to turn out like my siblings, and none of them were catered to what I wanted, even though I was like 7 years old. Like, I get I'm 7. But it's just interesting how sometimes you base resolutions on what other people think rather than what you think. So I remember I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I wasn't that smart as a 7-year-old, but you know what I mean? I'm not doing this anymore. Instead, I'm going to get better at drawing. I'm going to draw an eye every day. And that's what I did. And it was really small. If I didn't have time, I'd do it at school. But that's when I started doing it. And as I got older, I just started catering it to what my parents wanted. And I'm like, pause. Pause, Ola, pause. That's not what you're supposed to do. But I just started not doing it anymore because none of them were for me. You know, I feel like now I can do something that's just for me and not feel guilty about it. So
Yeah. I think a lot of my goals, especially like when we were younger, like in like, you know, like elementary school and middle school, you come back from break and your teachers like make you like write down goals. And I don't think I ever thought too hard about it until like recently. Like, even though less people I feel like cared, but I was like, maybe I should care. But I'm also like of the mindset like you could fix it like any time of the year. So I guess it doesn't matter that much. I mean, I guess it's like, it's symbolic and it's like a good way to measure like, oh, this year I really did fix it. But I'm like, you could do it anytime. Like, you shouldn't, like, if I think of something in December, I don't want to like, I'll give myself a month to do it.
Yeah.
That's funny because I did that this winter break. I did exactly that. So
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I didn't do that.
It'll happen. Yeah. Going back to that teacher thing you mentioned, man, I did not take those as seriously as I could have. Where people are writing down like, let's get good grades or something. I was a young teenager in middle school, and I remember writing down in the resolutions like, what do you want to do? Like, what's a big goal? Do y'all know 5 Seconds of Summer, the band?
Oh my god, yeah.
What way are you going?
Okay, so I remember, like, what's one really big goal? And I was like, I'm gonna meet Luke Hemmings, the main singer of 5 Seconds of Summer, and I don't know what kind of drugs I was on or what was in the air. Of course that didn't happen. I was like 13. Like, who was I gonna, I don't know. But it's just, I don't know.
I appreciate the ambition though. Like, it was definitely like
Big hopes.
Yeah. Big hopes for hope.
Big hopes for hope.
I feel like that's something that like kids and just people who earlier in their lives are just a lot better at, you know, like just not limiting themselves, like dreaming big, thinking big. And I feel like the older you get, the more you have to just try and be more practical, which I'm all for, but I hope like we all don't lose that more imaginative side of ourselves.
Exactly.
I think it I don't know, it always feels like, I definitely agree, it just always feels like an oxymoron, like older people are like, keep dreaming big, and then you hear someone else like, well, that's not realistic, so like tone it down.
You know what? It's realistic to me. So
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was like 8-year-old Nina back when she wanted to be an actress, like with 0 acting classes, and she just like watched like a movie. I was like, I can do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because I recently went to a funeral service for a high school teacher I had. And I saw my past classmates, and I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly like high school. Like, I remember walking down the physics hallway and just dreading it because I wasn't that good at physics. I'm like, oh my god, I'm seeing all these people again. And, you know, they went off and they're doing big things now. And, you know, it's pretty cool to see, but it's just like, oh, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
It's the comparing. And I'm like, why am I doing this again? And so even though that was like on Saturday, I was like, you know what? A new one would be to just focus on myself, not others. There's no point in comparing myself. It doesn't give any value. So that's the one that I'll hold most value to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, but
Yeah, like your progress is your progress, and you're gonna get to where you're going. However, whenever you get to where you're going, you know?
Right. You new year or not, you know, you'll get there.
yeah, eventually.
Yeah. But I think that is a really good one, especially like since we're like all freshly like adults. It's very hard seeing like your classmates, you know, like, I don't know, not do better, but just like you feel like you're doing better.
God.
Yeah, like,
God, like we suck.
but like it's weird because I know 2 people I think that have gotten married already.
Oh yeah.
Another 2 maybe that have got engaged, and I'm like, I don't feel like compelled to do that, but I'm just like, dang, like everything is happening now, and like,
Right. My calling is not to get married in this moment, but it's like,
And yeah, it's like a wake up call. Like it just kind of hits you
Yeah.
because it forces you to realize that like now in the next couple years of your life, you're just gonna start seeing more of that. Like more
Right.
people are gonna start getting married, and then like friends or like acquaintances that you have, like they're gonna start having kids, and then like life around you is starting to change, which means like you have to start to feel okay with changing with it.
Exactly.
And that's pretty huge.
I definitely felt weird.
Kayla, damn.
She dropping bars, y'all.
Stop.
My coworker, she was talking about her daughter, and she had her at 25, and she was just like, yeah, like make sure you're just like ready to have kids or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely like waiting a few more years. But it like hit me, like I was like, that's a legitimate question to like ask me.
Right. And to me, like what's crazy is like, well, like my parents had me young. Like my parents had me when they were 20. And when I was like 10, 20 was just an adult. Like there was no way to really feel out how old 20 was. It was just significantly older than me. But now I'm going to be 19 in April. And so it's like, wow, to think that there are people having kids at 20, like that's just insane. And I think it's forcing me to accept the fact that I am becoming more of an adult. And so like somebody, like your story where like, she had her kid at 25 and you're like, oh, I don't have a kid right now. But it's like to know that 25 is not 10, 15 years away anymore. Yeah. It's like 5 years away.
Yeah, I was like thinking like I was thinking about like some adult problem. I was like, you don't have to worry. And I was like, oh, you do have to worry.
No. Taxes? That's now.
Oh my God, don't get me started.
My mom was like, you got something in the mail. I was like, is it taxes?
Like actually enjoys going to IKEA. No.
Oh my God.
Tell me why. Like when I was younger, I used to hate HGTV. I thought that was the most boring crap there is. My parents loved it, ate it up. But I was like, man, I don't want to watch people just like look at houses.
This is lame.
Now, bro, I'll be like,
oh, it's so good.
It's like, dang, that's a nice porch. That's a nice backyard.
Upper.
Oh my God, the square footage.
Let's go, Joanna.
Heated in Idaho. Ooh. Buy it.
That foundation
turns me on. Like it's just ridiculous.
Oh,
and it's like, oh my God.
I mean, I don't like. I'm gonna be 20 in August, and I'm calling it Twenteen because I refuse. I'm not starting my 20s. I'm so scared because. Like you said, it just seems like an adult thing, and you're like, oh, I'm an adult now. I don't like this.
Everything feels very illegal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you sit there and you're like, can I do this? And then you're like, wait a minute, like I'm an adult, you know?
Yeah, my best friend was talking about a DILF, and I was like, oh my God, you could go for it.
Like legally under the law.
Gross. Aaron Taylor Johnson, well, no granny, but it's legal. I was like, oh my God.
No comment.
Yeah.
And then like all the like stressors, like you brought up taxes, but it's to know like in a couple of years, it's like, oh my God, where am I gonna live? Like rent, and then like.
Oh my God, I was looking at rent. I don't even know. Like I have a home, I don't even know why, but I was looking at like rent in different places, and I was like,
Zillow, love it.
Ooh, love Zillow.
Love a good Zillow.
Right.
Like I'm scared. 1, 2. I can't believe I've lived on this earth for 2 whole decades. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna be 20? I feel like a 15-year-old.
Yeah. So I totally get it.
It's a little scary, isn't
right.
it?
And like having friends who are still in high school too, it's like they're still experiencing. Like for me, I have a lot of senior friends who are in high school, and I've got college friends too. But watching them and hearing them talk about all of this, and you can see it dawn on them as it's coming to an end. They're like, oh my God, like graduation's coming, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, enjoy your days.
You
like
children.
Please.
They're numbered.
Because it's going to go so fast. And I remember adults telling me that when I was younger, and they're like, enjoy the time you have now. And I'd be like, okay. But it really does go by so fast, And now I'm starting to go into that position where I'm giving these people advice. And I'm like, I would advise that you do this before this, Don't make this mistake,
Bro, I remember graduating, and a month later seeing like one of the people I went to school with, like we had the same class, and they were like, oh my gosh, XYZ proposed. I'm like, sir? Sir? No, and they were like, I'm like, a month ago, we had to ask, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Or, hey, can I go outside for a minute? You're getting married. You know what? All power to you. I'm scared. It's super scary, innit?
Yeah, it is. Well, I think that we can all agree that resolutions are scary, and it's insane that we're in 2023. Like,
Yes.
2013 was 10 years ago.
Right.
That's
That's
insane.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But life keeps going, and I guess we just have to enjoy the time now,
Yeah.
and because this is it.
This is
Right.
it. I'll see you one day, Luke Hemmings.
This moment.
Comment down below your Venmo so you can send it to Hope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, please do.
Actually, all
Please.
all of
Yeah, yeah.
It's mandatory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of Hope,
actually,
I'm just
yeah.
like, I
Be
could
5
use
seconds.
it.
I could use it
Yeah.
too. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The First Draft, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.